How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech, and I do hope all of you guys are keeping safe and inside, because pretty much half of the world is in a lockdown because of, the small little bug that's going around. And that's also why finally our government here in South Africa also announced that we are going to go into a 21-day lockdown after everybody else already did that. So finally we are doing it as well now. But yeah, going into lockdown for around almost a month can probably get quite boring and mentally tiring. So you kind of have to prepare yourself. So we're making sure everything is set up. But yeah, you guys can see I am currently on the farm in this studio here. It is actually making some progress. You can't see the entire setup, but yeah, it is actually making some progress. So I'm getting ready for that lockdown, but I do have one small problem that I wanted to address, and that is with the TV setup here. I actually spend a lot of my time now here on the couch working and watching like movies and streams and so on, but the TV that I have is pretty decent. It's a 4K 50-inch TV. It's pretty good color accuracy, but it's just not good enough, and I think I'm really gonna get bored in this almost a month-long lockdown. And that is why the good people at ASUS South Africa sent over just a tiny little present for me to keep me busy in this 21-day lockdown. So let me just see if I can quickly go find that little surprise. All right, let me just get past here. Where did I put this thing? I seriously need to clean up this room a bit. It's so messy. And it's so hard. Where did I put this thing? I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. Oh, all right. Cool, here it is. That wasn't that hard. All right. Luckily, I don't have to do too much work to get it out. Right? Right. Right. Get it across over the... bit more. All right, hopefully that'll do. All right, so this is the ASUS ROG PG65U 4K 144 Hz 65-inch HDR1000 TV from ASUS, and as you guys can see, like I said, it's tiny, really tiny. And I am currently on the second story, so yeah, it was quite easy to get it up here. But anyway, this is the Beast TV, probably the most insane TV you can currently get. I know you get like 8K TVs and stuff, but I don't think they're as crazy, let's just say that, as this one. So let's quickly unbox this Beast and test it out for a bit. So everything has been set up. I've actually been using it for around half a week or so, and so far I can honestly say I love this thing. It is so nice. Now again, it is quite expensive, but it's just so much better than any other TV that I've used for gaming. So let's quickly just go over just how big this thing is firstly, because it actually makes my 50-inch look small, and 50 inches for a TV is already pretty big, and it is quite a big boy. Again, it is a bit on the thicker side as well, so it's not going to be one of those thin wallpaper TVs. But luckily, if you are going to just put it on a stand, it does have some really nice legs, which we usually see in some of ROG's monitors. However, these legs do look a lot more subtle compared to some of their other ROG monitors legs. So I do actually really like them. But now, of course, it wouldn't be a gaming product if there wasn't some RGB built in, and luckily with the PG65UQ you do have some RGB with ROG's new logo or projector. It's something new that they developed, so it's behind the TV that shines the ROG logo and you can control it through the TV if you want to, or you can also control it with a Aura Sync. So with your PC, you can set all of that up. But as for I/O, you do get plenty of connections with a single SPDIF out audio port. You do have a 2-port USB 3 hub, and then 4 HDMI 2.0 ports, and then a single DisplayPort 1.4. So you do have plenty of connections if you do want to run multiple devices into the TV. It'll work great for that. However, something to keep in mind is that if you do want to run at that 144 Hz, it only works on the DisplayPort 1.4. It doesn't work over HDMI 2.0. That is only limited to 4K 60 on the TV. However, all 4 of the HDMIs do support variable refresh rates. So if you do own a Xbox One X, I believe that does support that, and I do also think the next gen consoles will have that built in as well. So there you go, future proofing. Now, it's always a bit difficult to really describe to you guys what I'm experiencing when reviewing a TV or a monitor, because just so many variables involved: the camera I'm using, the device you're watching it on, YouTube compression. So in short, how I can explain it to you guys is that the PG65UQ is pretty much just a big gaming PC monitor, being that it's incredibly smooth. It just feels exactly like a really big monitor. Now, a while back, ASUS did send over their PG67UQ, which is their 27-inch 4K 144 Hz PC monitor, and that thing looked really good, but this thing is 2.5 times the size, almost like 4 times actually, or 5 times. But just what I'm experiencing with the TV compared to that monitor, even though it's kind of the same 4K 144 Hz, the TV just has so much more. It's just really amazing. Now, as for screen quality, it is definitely up there with some of the base 4K displays on the market currently. It has extremely good color accuracy thanks to the VA panel and the quantum dot technology being used. Also, all of these PG65Us are being pre-calibrated for you, so you know you're getting really color accurate TVs, with the model I have here having a certificate as well, showing that it does have a 98.6% coverage of the sRGB color space, 95% of the DCI-P3 color range, and a 0.59 delta E rating. Also, the PG65U is the first UHD premium certified big format monitor, which is what these are being called, the BFGs, which does sound really cool. But now what that just means is that it goes through a bunch of different tests to make sure that it's one of the best quality displays on the market. Now, along with that, the PG65U does also support HDR1000, and I wasn't actually expecting it to make such a big impact on me. It does look astonishing. Now, again, I have before reviewed the PG27U, which also supports HDR1000. However, on the smaller display, it didn't make that big of an impact on me. And also, my TV has HDR400, but it just doesn't compare at all to the HDR1000 on this giant monitor. Now, on the camera, it might look like it's blown out, but trust me, it does look so good. Everything looks more crisp and cinematic. And also, because there are 384 local dimming zones, you do get super dark blacks to go along with that very bright highlights. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any HDR movies to really watch it on to experience how good that's going to look, but I played some games, I experienced it there, and it does look really good. So I can just imagine how nice movies would look as well. So might need to invest in some HDR movies if I do get a TV like this. Hopefully, ASUS, please. But yeah, I think it will look really good. But now, of course, all of those features do appear on some other TVs on the market. However, what makes the PG65U so unique is that, again, it does have 4K resolution, but at that 144 hertz and a 4 millisecond response time, which is honestly really low, even compared to some gaming monitors and PC monitors. And you can instantly feel that even just when inside a Windows, it feels so much smoother, just like you would experience on a PC monitor. And that's what makes the PG65U so unique and so much better. And that actually makes it possible to play fast-paced games like shooters on a TV, which I just haven't experienced yet. And of course, just once you go 144 Hz, you never go back. And I do believe once the next generation consoles comes out, they'll probably be able to support that 4K and 144 Hz as well, or something close to that. So you guys will be able to experience that as well if you do have $4,500 for this TV. But it just honestly feels so good. What I love is just taking my wireless mouse and my wireless keyboard, sitting on the couch and just popping up some CSGO and just playing some of that. And it just, again, feels like I'm sitting in front of a really large computer PC monitor. So honestly, the experience is so much more enjoyable. But now, of course, if you don't want to play fast-paced games, you can just play regular AAA title games with some really good graphics. Combining that with the 4K, the HDR1000, and the really good colors, you're just gonna have an all-out fun time. But now that is where my problem kind of came into play, and it's probably not something that you're gonna experience if you do actually buy the TV, but getting that 144 Hz on a 4K resolution, you do need some decent horsepower, and unfortunately, I don't have that with me at the moment. So in my PC, I had a GTX 1060 Strix card, which I'm currently using because my laptop does actually have RTX 2080, doesn't have a full display port, so I couldn't use it through that. Some of the games do have a bit lower FPS count, but I was still able to play pretty much everything on high settings and just maybe not reach that 144 Hz. But CSGO, for example, was completely fine even on 4K. But now, this is where my second problem comes in, because after this lockdown is over, I'm gonna have to send the TV back to ASUS. And I honestly don't want to. It's so nice to game on this thing. I'll just use it. And I'm probably going to be, out of all of the products that I had to send back, this is going to be the one product that I'm really going to be sad about. It's so good. Some other features that the PG65U does also have, does support GSync Ultimate, which is just GSync rebranded as Ultimate, because now the FreeSync monitors does also have GSync. So yeah, it's just normal GSync if you were wondering. And then also, because it's a VA panel, viewing angles is really good. You can pretty much stand right beside the monitor and you can still see everything, where there's no color bending or darkening or anything going on. Now, as for the menu and how to control it, at the back of the display you do have 4 buttons, and also you do have your joystick to control everything through the menu. But pretty much, again, just like everything else, the menu looks and feels like a ROG branded gaming monitors. So you do kind of have all of your same features, like your gaming overlays with your FPS counter with graphics, your on-screen crosshair, you have a timer, you do have your input select, you can enable HDR automatically, you can just, there's a bunch of different things that you can apply. So just go play around with it and you can see. Now, because this is a TV as well, you do have an included remote which you can control the TV with, which would have been nice. However, because this is a demo model and was shipped around and everything, I think somebody took out the batteries, so I wasn't able to actually use the remote, which is a bummer, because now I have to stand up, change inputs behind the TV, which is far. So it was kind of a bit tedious to do that, and because of the lockdown, I couldn't really just quickly go out and find some batteries for the remote, but you do have all of your controls on it. You do actually have 2 shortcuts here as well, which are kind of handy, which you can also set inside the menu if you wanted to have quicker controls over something. And as for audio, I was actually quite surprised at how good the stereo 15-watt speaker sounded that was built in. It was plenty good enough for all of my gaming, movies, music. It had decent bass, crispy highs, and it just sounded really good for everything that I used it for. But of course, if you probably can't afford this TV, you probably already have a really good stereo system, so you do have that option again as well. Then lastly, I did have one slight annoyance with the TV, and it is understandable that it's there, but if you do leave for a few minutes, then the fan at the back of the display does ramp up, and it is quite noticeable if there's no audio being played. It kind of sounds like if you would put your PC on performance mode with your fans. It kind of sounds like that's where I am now. I can easily hear that. I'm not sure if the mic can actually pick that up, but I can actually hear it quite easily. Now it is again understandable because the display is very big. It might need to have some cooling. Passive cooling isn't going to be enough. And again, HDR1000, it's a brightness, it's a large display. Possibly it needs to cool the GSync module and all of that. So there's a lot of stuff going on that needs to be cooled. So it's understandable, but yeah, maybe for the next generation it will be better. But for now, you're also probably not leave the TV on and not play at least some music, which I'm gonna do right afterwards. So yeah, that's one thing. So then that's pretty much it for my review of the ASUS ROG PG65U, the best TV that I have ever used. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna be sad when I need to send this thing back. It is honestly so good, and if I had the money, I would actually buy one. It is honestly really nice, and I mean, I do have my other PC setup here, but I haven't actually touched it in quite a while because it's just so much more to just sit on the couch, have my wireless keyboard and mouse, and work on the TV. It's so much better, and because of the higher screen quality, the colors and all, and the size, it's just so much better. So if you honestly, or if you're looking for an all-purpose TV for gaming and maybe for work or just watching movies and all of that, then this is definitely something that you can look for if you do have the money. That's all. If you guys want to get it for yourself, I will try to leave links in the video description. Last time I heard it was only like 10 in the world or something, so it's very, very limited. Also, a big thanks to ASUS of Africa sending over the TV for review. I think I might just not reply to any of the mails and just keep the TV because I don't want to send it back. But yeah, big thanks to them for sending it over. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. And I will check all of you guys next time. Cheers, guys.